Hi and welcome back to Gary's Coin Channel. Like everybody else, well, a lot of you folks out there, pennies are getting hard to find. So we're gonna step it up, start doing nickels. So I got a couple rolls, some from the bank, well, they're all from the bank. Some are hand rolled, some are machine rolled. We're gonna just start ripping through them and see what we come up with. Going to keep an eye out for the elusive 2024, the low mintage uh, Jefferson nickel. You want to keep an eye out for that, and we're going to be looking for doubling and cuds and what have you, and all of the above. So without any more delay, we're going to open up the first two rolls. That's one. And that's the second roll. Nickels can be boring unless you find something that's nice. Gonna keep an eye out for cuds mostly, and nice doubling. There's a lot of machine doubling in the 90s. Avoid that. And then again, that 2024 nickel, gonna put those aside as well. Alright, so let's get right off to the hunt. Go to the microscope view. I'm gonna go ahead and center this, make sure we're looking good. And yeah, we're looking good. So we're off. A 21 Philly. Nothing there. 74 Denver. Worn out, but you know, typical type of wear. 88 Philly. Again, typical wear. 79. Smudge. Typical. 2015. Nothing there. Keep going. 2018. Now this one, if you look on the left, I'll point it out. These are known as the Beehive die-cracked, encapsulated cud, retained cud, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes these beehives get pretty big, and this one is not really, it's not really a good one, but it's there nonetheless. Keep an eye out for them. They don't really hold a high premium, but yeah, you could put them aside and sell them lots of 5 or 10. I'm going to put that one aside. A small beehive. 81 Philly. Actually, we're going to go ahead and put all those, put them up here. The coins we find. Alright, back to it. 81 Philly. Uneventful. Moving on. 76 Denver. Nothing there. 95 Philly. Nothing there. 2018. Now we have some machine doubling going on here. You look under the date, you got a little shadowing. Um, these really have to be obscure to have any value, and you can see the mint mark showing up more so the doubling, but it's machine doubling. It's more of a chatter. And again, on the back reverse, we have a die crack with the beehive. They're right here on the left of the building. Sometimes it happens on the right too. You have a minor beginning here, but we have it on the left. It's a small one, but again, looking at the front, the obverse, got a little machine doubling, which is, it's okay. It's this one we're going to put aside as the Beehive Cud die chip. Everybody, folks get upset. You call it a cud, and they get upset. It's retained. It's retained from a die chip. Technically, it's material coming up from the crack, and that's how cuds are created. Also, from along the rims, the collars, but you can call it encapsulated and retained cud, but it is a die chip. The chip and the die material came up from below. All of the terms are appropriate. People know what you're talking about. I'm not gonna pull hairs over it. Let me tell you. You say, "Oh, that's not a cud." Well, okay, it's material from underneath. You got to call it a die chip. Otherwise, the numismatic professionals or wannabes get all upset. You can't call it a cud, though it's commonly referred to as the Beehive Cud. So you can figure that out. Back to this 75 Denver. If you called it a Beehive Cud, I know what you're talking about. Retained cud, die chip, I know what you're talking about. Everybody knows what you're talking about. Normal wear. 22. Again, on the left, we got a little bit of that beehive popping up, but nothing really here. It's there, but it's very minor. So we're going to pass on this one. But when you find one that's really good, well, let's see if we find one. They're pretty impressive, actually. Nickels are boring to begin with, so if you find these retained cuds, kind of makes your day. Nickels can be rewarding. You find doubling and issues. The cladding, bad cladding. I mean, it all depends. Or if you find a war nickel or something. 99 Philly. I don't know if that's a grease strike. It could be. This coin's pretty much shot. I mean, it has a nice appeal to it. And I forgot to mention, you want to, if you suspect the rotated die, take the coin and flip it, and you'll be able to check the rotated die. There's nothing here in that 99. 14. Nickels come up with rotated dies. Not often, but they do. They show up. 18. Yeah. 2016. Nothing there. I should just look at the back. Got a little machine doubling on his 21. Very minor. We're not gonna call it anything. It's too minor. I've seen some that are pretty impressive. The doubling. Though it's not a rotated die double, it's still very impressive chatter double. Machine chatter. And also I've seen the Ocean and View, oh the joy, reverse with some planchet errors in it. You want to just make sure everything looks nice and clean. If it's struck over a damaged planchet, you want to put that one aside. I've seen it with this series, 05 series. Again, the rotated die, I take it right off the side of the box and flip it. And this one's straight up. 03 Philly. Here. 22 Philly. Nothing there. Keep going. 17 Philly. And nothing there. Yeah, so if you don't want to sit through the whole video, you can just check the end when we do the recap. It's a little by the D in God. I hope that's it. Struck over material. It's very minor. I'm not going to draw attention to it too much. And here we have a little bit of a grease strike issue. But then that could be PMD on the sense. Can't say for sure. But you could see the rippling in the surface of the coin. That's usually from a high grease strike. This coin will not bring a premium, so we're just gonna pass on it. But sometimes it gets pretty dramatic, around the edges. So those you want to put aside, but you want to look for that heavy, rippling in the field. And it has to be substantial. To have any kind of, eye value, appeal, eye appeal. Let's see if we come across one. I'll show you. 18 Philly. Nice clean coin. Overall, it's a higher grade. But there's no market for this. It's got a nice nick in the collar above the R and pluribus. So it kicks it down a notch. It's a nice condition for this 18. So you got a little nick in the N and N on the top, but nothing going on with that. It's a nice looking coin though. I'm gonna get it graded. No. It's 07. $2,000 Denver. We have a little doubling on the mint mark here. I don't believe it's a repunched mint. You can see on the date there's also some shadowing. It's a machine doubling. This coin worth putting aside? Well, not really. There's no rotated die. So you always want to check with that. It has a nice machine doubling on the mint mark. Is it going to hold the premium? I don't think so. Also, looks like it could be a retained cud on the ear here. Interesting. Nothing really going on the reverse. You know what, we're just going to put this aside as a issue with doubling and a retained cud. 22. You know, die chip. For you guys that it's not a cud. Okay. You know what I meant. It's material popping up where it shouldn't be. I'm going to pretty much broad range that term for a cud. You see material that pops up, it gets squeezed up, or whether it's from the collar or a die chip, but it's a blob of material that shouldn't be there. I'm going to put it in the cud category. How's that? I'm going to get everybody annoyed. You know, especially, you know, you got to deal with clad coins. These are copper with a nickel cladding on it. It's different. Back before they did the cladding, like, you know, full silver, gold for that matter, you know, older coins. Cuds didn't just, they were retained cuds, but a lot of cuds were along the collar because the interior of the coin was pretty solid because it was a solid core coin. Anything you got with a, you know, cladding, like nickels are cladded with nickel over copper. So there's a better chance of getting, you know, retained cud inside the design somewhere. A die chip or a die break and the material comes through. I mean, it could happen with, you know, solid silver coins and solid copper coins as well, but you're going to see a lot with the cladded coins. You know, that's my observation. 21. So what do you call it? You call it a die chip? Okay, fine. There, that's not on the collar, nothing there. 2012 Denver. A little bit of machine doubling on the Liberty, very minor. 2012. Nope. Sorry. Back to the bank. 05. Now this is going to be our Buffalo or Lewis and Clark, or let's see, we got the Buffalo. There are a few errors, you know, one with the ligaments in the leg. I haven't seen any of them yet. You just want to really check the Buffalo, make sure everything's where it should be. That little hair extension on the chin, the bottom, that's supposed to be there. So ignore that. Okay, I'm back. 20 Philly. Nothing there. 01 Denver. Now, it's an old worn out one. I'm going to say it's a 62. No, 70. Huh, way off. It's worn out. 70 Denver. 04 Philly. Yeah, it's the 04 series had Lewis and Clark. Make sure everything's clean. '99 Philly. I don't know what that is on the right of the building there. Well, it's dirt, but I see something going on with the material of the coin. Nothing. Nothing. Alright, we filled up our. Oh, we did. See, that's the one right there. Yeah. Our coin counter. One more. I'm just sending them right back into a coin counter. Yeah, this contraption right here. It gets up to the line. You got the 40 nickels. 10. Then I just roll them. I just put them back in a roll. 10. And let's see. Yep, that's 40. We're going to pause and pack these away. Okay, you slide them in. These things are great. They're very inexpensive on Amazon. Put this one into our box. Send them back to the bank. Oh, you could spend them. You can go buy a couple of candy bars. Alright, back to the hunt. 91. That's like a human wear from humans. Very weak strike. I don't know. Had no value. Going on. 23. Nothing there. 84 Philly. Look at the size of that collar, huh? 84 Philly. Nothing there. 2015. The 2015 Denver. Another 2015. What's going on here? There's Ratty. 1880 Philly. Nothing going on. 06 Philly. A little worn out. Nothing going on. 17 Philly. And nickels get banged up a lot. I think because of weight. You just get a lot of nicks and wears. There. 99 Philly. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but I would hands down rather be searching through pennies. You know, because the amount of varieties that are out there, errors. I mean, you get them at the nickels, but you know, it just seems a little more rewarding with pennies, unless there's occasional buffaloes or liberties mixed in, make it exciting. But I don't see that happening. Not too often, anyway. Or you know, war nickels. You know, look for the silver composite nickels. 2020. Mess. 2002 Denver. It's got that's surface damage. PMD. 04 Philly. This that grease strike issue I was talking about earlier. You see that looks like a, well, if you can imagine grease getting shot out from the edge of the coin. It's not a great specimen, but that's what's going on here. And Louisiana Purchase. I'll look this one over good because it seems like it's in really good shape actually. I mean, not great uncirculating, but for a circulated coin, actually has appeal to it. But you know what? You could start seeing unicorns too. I'm gonna pass on you. Get all excited over a coin with a little bit of issue. A little bit. I see a grease stripe. I struck through grease. You guys, you know, you language police, struck through grease. If I see a good one, I'll point it out. Well, the grease strike, it wasn't struck by grease, it struck through grease. I get it. Sometimes they're crazy with it. But, you know, you can't argue with them. And somebody had to come up with the term, right? I bet it weren't right on the, you know, right on the money with the description. You know, somebody with a education. I'd say it's a grease strike or struck the grease. You know, they start splitting hairs over that one. Cards, retained cards, die chips. How horrible. I'm just a hobbyist, you know, coin collector. I don't claim to be a professional. I'm not a grader. I know a good looking coin when I see one. You know, higher quality. You know, like all the steps are here. I mean, I could. I'm not going to sit there and say, yeah, that's a MS60 or 50, what have you. I'm not going to do that. But I could definitely see if a coin's a higher grade, good quality coin. And then, oh, you can't even mention that. Oh, you're not a certified grader? Well, let's see. I could tell when a coin's nice, you know. So I'm sure these guys are women, guys, girls that grade this stuff. They have certain levels of how they grade, and you know, according to damage, you know, like coin marks or wear, overall appeal. I mean, I'm telling, it's not rocket science. They have a checklist. Oh, this has 10 nicks in it. All right, and then it gets into the MS. Not even. It's a fine or very good. So, yeah, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. 04 Philly. Another Louisiana. Like one big mark through the hand like that. That's post-mint damage, PMD. That could destroy the whole coin. you know, enough. Bring down the grade. Like I said, I'm not here to grade. I'm just a hobbyist. But I know enough about coins. I've been around coins for a long time, longer than a lot of these, you know, language police, numismatic people that jump down your throat for every you know, look at that nose, mischaracterizing how, they jump on everything. This one's interesting. We got though it's damaged, it's 84. It's offset collar, very worn. You could see at one point, it did have, well, it still has offset collar, but it is damaged. No value. It was in pristine condition. MS 50, 60, whatever it is, it's 58, or VF 50 something, or EF. AU. I don't know how they grade, get the grades. Here you go. I can grade this one. Look, I work for. This is Mint State, right? A few nicks. You got the lip, and the field is clean. It has a little scarring on it. So it's not a MS 70 or 68. Very clean. It's got this and that. It's it's AU, but it's got damage. So that would be a very fine or extra fine. And it would be right in the high 50s. I could clearly say that. If I wouldn't have this graded. If it had a big double die or something, I'd say, all right, game on. But it's not rocket science to grade something. They have their standards. Hey, look at that. Look at his nose. He's a drinker. 22p. Philly. It gets frustrating sometimes. Go away. 91 Denver. Oh, what was that? No, nothing. I thought I saw something. It was a unicorn. 23 Philly. $17 Philly. Getting down to the wire here. 2017 Philly. What happened to that O? Almost looks like a die chip in that O. Monticello. I'm not going to say it is. And just pass. So it's unicorns again. 99 Denver. Clean. You see a lot of doubling on the 98s and 99. Machine doubling. Not there. Alright, getting down to the wire. Last coin out of those two rolls. 2019 Philly. Nothing going on. Alright, so we're going to do a recap. Pulled 2 coins out from 2 rolls. And out of 80 coins, so it's 40 nickels per roll. A $2 roll. So let's see. We have the 2000 Denver, which has machine doubling on the mint mark. And on the date, it's like shadowing. Nothing severe. And then on the reverse, nothing. I'd never be able to sell that coin. It's going back to the bank. And what do we see with this 18? So he's got a cataracts. Oh, I think it was the cut, yeah. This has got the very minor Beehive Cud on the left of the building. I mean, those, you should put them aside and save them, but honestly, they're not really worth anything. Yeah, there was a nice, cracked die or something nearby, or had issues. Otherwise, yeah, you might bump up a little bit of a premium. Like this coin's a little off center too. I don't know if that's related, but it's got the full steps. It's better shape, but it's beat up. Nothing really to write home about. So I'd make the executive decision. I call myself an exec. Make the executive decision. We're going to put this one back and give it back to the bank. How about that, huh? And look, they did it again. You get these home rolled, rolled at home. They short you a nickel all the time. I know what 40 nickels looks like on my counter. Let's get my fucker nickels. I'll grab one out just to fill it up. I hate when they do that. Oops, excuse me, camera. Alright, so we're going to move on, do another 2 rolls. See, this should be, the nickel will line up perfectly right to the top on this counter. So this one was short one. I mean, alright, you made a nickel. But it seems like every one of my hand-rolled coins, nickels, are short. Just about 90% of them. It's like they do it on purpose. So, not the machine-rolled ones. The machine-rolled ones, I got a couple of them too. Get down on the bottom. Maybe I'll do the next hunt. Oh, machine. Let's pull it out. There we go. These are definitely, that's a nice looking worn one. Definitely 40 nickels in these. And when I fill this tube up, it's going to look like that. Alright, so we're going to close this one down and jump on another hunt in a short bit. Thanks for watching.